Hi, Ayobola. Looks like this is your last set of essays. Great work. Let's see how you did with this particular set. Okay, starting with your letter, it's the barking dog. So let's see how you did. Dear Sir, Madam, I'm writing to express my displeasure concerning the continuous barking of your dog every midnight between 12 midnight and 1 o'clock. This has become an unusual way that my family is no longer comfortable with unless something is done to restore peace. Okay. Let's fix a few things here. My understanding of this task is that the dog doesn't bark just at 1 hour, but it barks pretty much all day long. So that's why I don't understand why you said it barks every midnight between 12 midnight and 1 o'clock. I mean, besides which, this is a little repetitive. So I think it should probably be the continuous barking of your dog all day and all night. Really. And this was rather awkward. I didn't understand it. This has become an unusual way that my family is no longer comfortable. Unusual. All right. Anyway, so let's clean it up, shall we? This has become an uncomfortable situation that my family is no longer comfortable with unless something is done to restore peace. That's a little better. Firstly, the continuous barking of your dog affects my children's concentration in preparation for their midterm examination during night study, which is required to complete 6 hours of study. All right, I think it could have been a little less wordy. This during night study is a little strange. Let's see. Preparation for their midterm examination. Let me try it again, okay? The continuous barking of your dog affects my children's concentration in preparation for their midterm examinations, plural probably, which requires them to complete or to study, even into the late night hours. Maybe that works. What do you think? With this distraction, it is very difficult to achieve this goal. Okay. Secondly, sleeping has become a major challenge for me considering my health status. All right. We should never make a paragraph with just one sentence. And in this particular instance, you mention your health status, but you don't really expand upon it. So if you wanted to make it a separate paragraph and really kind of emphasize that, then you probably should have said a little more there, okay? Okay, I would like you to recheck the potential cause responsible for the dog barking, which could be a result of local cats fighting or the movement of our neighbor that has started who has started shift work, leaving the house at 12 a.m. It might also interest you to know that dogs suffer loneliness, which is another area you need to look into in order to restore peace to the neighborhood. In this regards, kindly look into these issues urgently in order to bring the serenity that was lost in our vicinity. Yours sincerely, Ayobola. Okay, so Ayobola, this is a rather formal letter. You clearly don't know your neighbor. Otherwise, you wouldn't have called the person Dear Sir, Madam. So a couple things need to change here. The first thing is yours sincerely should be yours faithfully, because when we don't know the person we're writing to, that's how we end our letter. And also, I would advise you to write your full name. Like I said, it's a formal letter, so it's a little too familiar for you to just write your first name. All right? I would change that as well. Like I said, there were some areas that were a little awkward. It was basically awkwardness, like awkwardness of expression, and just some things that were a little strange, but nothing too serious. So overall, it's a well-written letter. Let's take a look at the next one you have. Okay, so now we've got the green energy essay. Is it a risk to energy security, or is it environmentally and economically a better option? Let's see what you wrote. Experts throughout the developed and developing countries have debated whether the advancement of green energy has become more prevalent due to cost reduction and improved environment. Okay, while others believe who they? You mean it. because it's green energy, one thing. It is a serious threat to energy security. This essay will discuss both views, using examples from Venezuela government and Harvard University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, you didn't include the task in your essay, so I can't remember if this says discuss both views and give your opinion. Remember that if it does tell you to give your opinion, please give it in your introduction. All right, it's important for the examiner to see your position throughout the essay. So you should include your opinion if it is asked for. Okay, moving on. On one hand, there is ample evidence that fossil fuel is replaced by green energy to reduce harmful emission, ensure clean air and air quality water supplies, which improves public health and reduce all health costs. All right, a lot of information here and some mistakes with grammar. Okay, so let's try it again. On one hand, there is ample evidence that fossil fuels are being replaced by green energy to reduce harmful emissions, ensure clean air and quality water supplies, comma, thus improving public health and reducing all health costs, plural. Green energy, such as wind and solar energy, are constantly replenished and never runs out. That's correct. Wait, no. Green energy such as wind and solar energy is constantly replenished and never runs out. These resources are used in the comfort of our homes as an alternative source of energy, and as a result lower electricity consumption. For example, a recent study by Harvard University indicated that green energy implementation has improved our lives by 15% through reduction of harmful emission, contributing to global warming. Therefore, it is empirically clear that green energy significantly reduces cost, and improves our environment. Okay, you didn't make a case for cost. I know you said that you were going to. Here it is, cost reduction. And then here you said cost. The only thing you said about cost is that it reduces health cost. But you never went into it, okay? And so you haven't developed that aspect of the argument at all. I would have also said that it might be cheaper to produce after an initial outlay of what's the word I want? Equipment costs. After that, the actual generation of energy is much cheaper. So you could have argued that as well if you didn't want to just talk about this reduced health cost issue. Okay, moving on. On the other hand, although green energy plays an important role in the national security of any country, full stop. All right, I'm not really sure what you're trying to say. Let's continue so I can figure it out. However, many issues arise from the use of energy, such as greenhouse gas emissions, acid rain, climate change, dependency on depleting supplies of fossil fuels, especially from politically unstable regions of the world. Okay, political instability is one of the major threats, to energy security, which results, into war and strike action, thus proper functioning of energy industry. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm kind of silently reading your paragraph over because I'm trying to figure out where the error is. I don't know if it's in that first sentence or if it's in the rest of the essay. But in general, I see major problems with this paragraph. Let me tell you what they are. Now, you're supposed to be talking about both views here, right? Energy security, it's a risk, green energy as a risk to energy security. That's what you're supposed to be discussing in this paragraph because you already talked about it being cost effective and better for the environment. Here you're supposed to be talking about it being a risk to energy security. So let's see what happened here. First of all, I don't understand why you wrote this sentence. Grammatically, it's wrong and it doesn't fit in anywhere because the previous paragraph did not talk about national security and green energy. So using this kind of contrast doesn't make any sense here. It doesn't fit in at all. So And also the although doesn't fit because you don't have two clauses that contrast with each other. So the whole sentence really confuses me, and I'm trying to see how it fits into the rest of the paragraph. So I would scratch that second sentence out and start from the beginning there. And then here, I don't know why we're talking about fossil fuels. We're not supposed to be talking about fossil fuels. We're supposed to be focusing just on green energy and its benefits and its drawbacks. So it's not appropriate to talk about the benefits of fossil fuels instead. Does that make sense? You're not covering the topic by analyzing fossil fuels. That's not what you've been asked to do. You've been asked to analyze the benefits and drawbacks of green energy. So moving on, let me look at the whole paragraph again. So again, I would have gotten rid of this sentence, new topic sentence in this paragraph. And then you say, many issues arise from the use of energy. Of what kind of energy? Do you mean fossil fuel energy, traditional forms of energy? Not sure. And then you say greenhouse gas emissions, acid rain, climate change, and dependency on depleting supplies of fossil fuel, especially from politically unstable regions of the world. Political instability is one of the major threats, S, to energy security, which results, S, in war and strikes, thus preventing proper functioning of the energy industry. For example, a recent study by Venezuela government showed that the nationalization of oil in Venezuela triggered strike and protest in effect. Venezuela's oil production rates have yet to recover from political instability. Other factors include competition over energy resources, manipulation of energy supplies, and attack on the supply of infrastructure. Therefore, it is conclusively clear that green energy can be a serious threat to energy securities. Okay, that's not clear because this whole paragraph has been talking about oil and about traditional forms of energy, fossil fuel energy. So this sentence and this sentence have absolutely nothing to do with what you wrote in the rest of the paragraph. Here you're talking about how fossil fuels are a danger to energy security, not green energy. Okay, so the paragraph is it's number one, not answering the question. Okay, which is how green energy affects energy security. So the entire development of this paragraph is incorrect, and this first sentence and the conclusion statement have nothing to do with the rest of the paragraph. Okay? Okay, then of course there were the grammatical errors that I had to correct, which I'm sure you've already noted. So let's go to your conclusion. In conclusion, although we have many critical issues emanating from green energy, it has numerous benefits. You can't use although and yet, okay? You either use one or the other. So it has numerous benefits. It injects into the environment for sustainability. I strongly believe that green energy, get rid of the, does more good to our environment as well as its vital role in the energy security. Okay. Okay, so I've already told you my viewpoint. This paragraph is rather problematic, needs to be rewritten. Okay, you definitely developed your answer. You wrote a lot on the topic, but like I said, the development of it itself is incorrect. So go ahead and correct it. Do you have more essays with us? I can't remember if you get extra essays. I would like to see more work from you, Ayobola. I think that the continued feedback is helpful. I hope you're finding it helpful. So do try to sign up for some more essays with us if you can. I'd like to see more work from you, okay? Best of luck, and I hope you will continue to write essays, okay? Good luck.